Hi, welcome to Physics for Cause. My name is Shivam Dangwal and this is an introduction to Python. This is the first lecture of our topic computational physics. So let's begin with the very first lecture of Python fundamentals. So let's begin with the history of Python. What exactly was the history of Python? So Python is an open source object oriented and high level programming language. It was developed by Guido van Rossum in 1991 at the National Research Institute for Mathematics, Netherlands. Now, Python is presently owned by Python Software Foundation, known as PSF. Basically, Python is based on the ABC language. It is based on the ABC language. It was inspired by the ABC language. And what exactly is ABC language? It is a teaching language which was created to replace the programming language called BASIC, which was developed earlier. So Python is an inspiration taken from the ABC language. And Python was inspired by the famous BBC comedy show Monty Python's Flying Circus, which is this BBC comedy show given in the presentation. So Python is basically a general purpose programming language that can be used effectively to build any kind of program that doesn't require direct access to your computer's hardware. Okay, so let's begin with the features of Python. What Python provides you as a programmer. So Python is an interactive interpreted language with simple syntax. It has become increasingly popular because of the features which I mentioned in this particular slide for you. So first of all, it is easy to use. The syntax of Python are really easy to understand. It is just like you are reading just a simple textbook. But the libraries which we will be going to talk about in this Python for the computational physics may differ. Python is free and open source, as well as portable language which have a large repository of libraries installed. Third one is Python is high level programming language. Fourth, Python is extensible, or I can say that Python is extendable high level programming language. What does it mean? It means that there is no wastage of time in declaring the types of variables or arguments. If I am going to assign the variables or the arguments in a syntax in a program for the Python, there is no such wastage of timing in declaring the types of variables or arguments, which we will be going to cover in the upcoming lectures. Fifth one is Python is based on the GUI programming. What exactly is GUI programming? GUI stands for Graphical User Interface. Basically, Python supports graphical user interface wherein input, output and error just have a common base. One can exactly feel the input, output as well as the error which will come out of the wrong program. Next is object-oriented. Python supports the object-oriented programming language. Python is basically an object-oriented programming language. In the upcoming slide, I have explained about the object-oriented programming language. Next one is Python is dynamically typed. What exactly is dynamically typed? It is the property that it takes less time to develop Python programs, which is 3 to 5 times shorter than equivalent Java programs or C++ programs. So it is a dynamically typed. This is because of its built-in high-level data types. The data types used in Python are high levels, and so that it supports the dynamically typing. Next is Python is interpreted language. Basically, it supports the functionality of an interpreter, not compiler. But what exactly is interpreter or compiler? So, interpreter is a language processor that converts high-level language program into machine language by converting and executing it line by line. So, if there is any error in any line, it reports it at the same time, and the program execution cannot resume until the error is rectified. So the property of interpreter which is used in Python is very beneficial for the programmers for error debugging. Interpreter is very much useful as it reports the error at the same time as the you put enter sign. As you press enter, if there is any error in the line, then interpreter is very useful as it reports the error at the same time. But once errors are removed, unnecessary usage of memory takes place as it has to be present in the memory always. And if I differ it with the compiler, compiler is also a language processor that converts high level programming language into machine language, but the conversion manner is different. Listen to me very carefully. Here in compiler, the conversion manner is different. It converts the entire high level program in one go and reports all the error of the program along with the line numbers. So Python is an interpreted language that is very useful as it reports the error at the same time by executing it line by line. Now moving towards some of the advantages of Python, as we have discussed that the features of Python. Apart from the salient features which I have discussed, Python offers the following advantages as well. Number one is Python is platform independent. It can run across different platforms like Windows, Linux, Unix, Mac OS X and other operating systems as well. Second is readability. Python programs are clear, simple, concise, precise and English-like instructions that are easy to read and understand even by non-programmers or people with no substantial programming background. Python is object-oriented programming language, which in short that I can say that OOPS. OOP is referred to as object-oriented programming. Basically, Python supports the functionality of OOP concepts like encapsulation, object, inheritance, abstraction, polymorphism, association, composition, and aggregation. So these all are the functionalities covered in the object-oriented programming language which the Python supports. Next is high productivity. Since Python is very simple, as I have discussed it earlier, it is very simple with small codes and extensive libraries. It offers higher productivity to programmers than languages like C++ and Java. So you write less and get more done. So this is the higher productivity which is offered by Python. This can be considered as a gift to the programmers. Next, as I have already discussed in the salient features of Python, that it supports GUI programming. What exactly is GUI programming? It supports graphical user interface where it offers such a functionality that the input, output and the error can be experienced by the programmer. Next, ample availability of libraries. In Python, I have already discussed that it provides large standard libraries to solve a task. This segment or this advantage of Python is being used in our particular course, which this is computational physics. In computational physics, we will be going to use several libraries for several solutions to the complex problems. Next is syntax highlighting. This is a beautiful feature of Python, or I would say this is the most beauty of the Python because it allows to distinguish or to differentiate between input, output and error messages by different color codes. It provides such a beauty that we can easily distinguish between input messages, output messages and the error messages by different color codes. Now, if we are reading Python, if we are understanding Python, so what are the applications of Python? We must know the applications of Python as well, as Python has evolved into a powerful, complete and useful language over these years. These days, Python are used in many diverse fields or applications, I would say. some of which are scripting, web applications, game development, system applications, rapid prototyping, GUI programs for creating GUI programs. In the field of database applications, Python is most widely used in the field of machine learning, deep learning, and data science, and in the field of overview of geoprocessing. In fact, I would say that ISRO has also launched a program called Overview of Geoprocessing using Python, in which they are teaching about the raster data model and the vector data model for the students. So these are the applications of Python, and these applications can be considered as a segment of a computational physics as well. Now, although Python is very powerful, yet simple language with so many advantages which I have discussed earlier. It has various advantages. Still it is not the perfect programming language. There are some areas where Python does not offer much or is not that capable. So Python is not that perfect programming language. So here comes the disadvantages of Python, which are: number one, not the fastest language. I have discussed it earlier that Python is an interpreted language, not a fully compiled one. Python can be considered as a part of semi-compiled, but Python is not the fastest language. Python is a little weaker, though it offers faster development times, but the execution times are not that fast compared to some compiled languages. If I would say that C++ or Java, the result of the Python is little slower than as compared to some other programs written in Java or Python or C++. Next one is Python offers library support for almost all the computing programs, but its library is still not competent with languages like I have already discussed, C, Java, as they have larger collections available. So Python has lesser libraries than C and Java. Third one, not easily convertible. If I would say that I have written a code in Python and I want to convert that code into some another programming language, this becomes a disadvantage for us to translate a program into another programming language. This is because most of the other programming languages have structured defined syntax, have a strong syntax. So the translation from Python to that programming language would require the user to carefully examine the Python code and its structure and then implement the same structure into another programming language syntax. So these are some minuses or the disadvantages of Python. So I hope that in this particular lecture we have covered about the topics of the history of Python, the salient features of Python, the advantages of Python, the application of Python, and the disadvantages of Python. In the upcoming video, we will be going to understand more about the interpretation and compilation. And then we will be going to explain about how to work in Python by installing PyCharm community. So thank you for watching this particular video.